Hey, welcome back to our series on Facebook LeetCode interview questions. Quite a mouthful, but we're moving on to the second most frequent Facebook interview question according to LeetCode in the past 6 months. And that one is number 1249, a minimum remove to make valid parentheses. Given a string S of open parentheses, close parentheses, and lowercase English characters, your task is to remove the minimum number of parentheses, open or closed, in any position so that the resulting parentheses string is valid and return any valid string. Formally, a parentheses string is valid if and only if it is an empty string, contains only lowercase characters, or it can be written as AB, A concatenated with B, where A and B are valid strings. Or it can be written as A, where A is a valid string. All right, so for example, we have Lee, open parentheses T, open parentheses C, close O, close DE. So this one, is there anything wrong with it? It does not appear so. So LeetCode. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So here we have three opens, three closes, and two opens. So we have to remove one of these. So we could get rid of this one by the C, by the O, or at the end. They're all valid possibilities. All right. The next one would be open. I'm sorry, closed, and then open, close. And then, of course, we need to get rid of this first open one. And then here we have just everything's bad. So that's one way of doing it. So what we want to do is it's very similar to the other question we've done of making, a valid parenthesis. But what we want to do is instead of keeping track of the open parentheses, we need to keep track of the indices associated with those open parentheses. So let's go ahead and get started. Here we'll say let our output is equal to our string. We're just making more or less a copy of it. Let our open indices, that is equal to an empty array. And then we're going to also have our pointer. So our pointer is going to be the one that is leading the way. So while our pointer is less than our output dot length, and our output is going to be changing as we just cut some stuff up. Okay. What we want to do is say if our output at pointer is equal to an open parentheses, an open parentheses, then what we want to do is we want to push that indice to our array. So open indices dot push, and we are pushing the pointer. And then of course we move ahead. Pointer is incremented. Next, else if output at our pointer is equal to a close parentheses. Uh-oh, that's not good. What we want to do is say we want to check first if there's a match. So if our open indices dot length is greater than 0, so if there's any elements inside, what we want to do is just pop it off and move forward, because that will be a matching pair. Open indices dot pop, and then we are moving our pointer up. Pointer is incremented. We do that. Okay, super easy. And then else, what we want to do is remove that element. So we'll say our new output is now equal to our output. I'll just use a substring from 0 to our pointer. And then we also want to say from our output dot substring from our pointer plus 1. So we get the string in front and the string behind it, and we ignore the middle part, and then we just combine it together. Pretty straightforward. And then our last one, else. Pointer will just increment. This will be the case of a lowercase alphabet letter. So pretty straightforward. And then another thing we want to do is what happens if we have more open indices at the end. What we're going to do is go through and do pretty much the same thing. So while our open indices dot length is greater than 0, as long as there's elements on there, we know that is not a matching pair. We're going to get our target. So we're going to go constant. Our target would be our open indices dot pop, because we're getting the element behind. And then what we want to say is output is now equal pretty much to the same thing of output substring. So we're doing the exact same thing as we did here on line 19. Is we're instead of removing the closing parentheses, we're removing the open parentheses. So from 0 to target, and also output that substring from target plus 1. Yeah, and then at the end, all we do is return our output. Straightforward. Let's run it. Give it a test. Please work. We do work. All right, very good. All right, here we go. Let's go through time and space. We just go through it one time here, and then potentially one more time. So 2n, O of 2n would be the worst case, but we'll just say O of n for time complexity. And then, this worst case scenario would be O of n, so O of 2n. So worst case scenario, O of n space, and for time would be also O of n. There's probably a way to do it just modifying the element that we have, but let's go ahead, submit it, see what we get. And hey, look at that, 93%. What's good? Hey, and our memory's not bad either. Anyways, that's how you do question 1249, minimum remove to make valid parentheses. I hope you learned something. Have a great day. Goodbye.